Okay, so some people are upset about this one. A whites-only community in Arkansas is developing. Neighbors get along better when they are similar. Now, off first glance, to me, I don't mind. I mean, I'm far removed from wanting to be separated from people by race and stuff like that. You know, it's about character with me, but I don't mind if somebody wants to, you know, put themselves in their own community as long as they ain't taken away from other people. So let's check it out.
Application process, including a questionnaire and an interview with the Board of Trustees.
How would you defend what you do here?
We're not trying to oppress any other group. In fact, we would want to help other groups also have their own spaces if that's what they want.
Do you understand why some people, though, might see what you're doing as racism?
I mean, to me, it is a little bit racist. You know, if you have an application form and you're telling people like, oh, everything else is right on the application but your race, and we're not going to let you in. But I don't mind it. I don't mind people, if they want to be racist, that's cool, you know, as long as you letting me know. I'd rather this type of racism than for me to apply for a job and to not get it because I'm black, and them to give me some type of other type of excuse. So I'm still really not mad at them. Like, you know, they want to have their little space out there in Arkansas. I don't know anybody that lives in Arkansas or would want to live out there in Arkansas over other places. So it is what it is.
Sure, of course. But I also don't know exactly what racism is. The concept has shifted over the years. If racism is hating other groups of people, I would say we're not racist. If racism is valuing your racial heritage and wanting to perpetuate it, well, then by that definition, yeah, we're racist.
Butch Dale lives in nearby Ravenden. He's a city council member and the fire chief. He says he's not bothered by it.
We live in a free country. I think they have a right to support their views the way they want to. Of course, we all have our different views.
Arkansas civil rights attorney Austin Porter.
That's my thing. I don't know if it's like private or public land they're using, but if it's public land, it'll be hilarious if a black person just goes and buys a house over there. That would be hilarious. But if it's private land and they just doing their own thing over there, even though when black people try to do this, they usually face some hurdles. That would be my only complaint. Allow black people to do this too. Spanish people, we could say allow them to do it, even though they kind of already do. You know, you go to certain apartment complexes, you know, it'll be like little Mexico over there. And, you know, they have their own community. Of course, other people are allowed to live in those places. They just take up majority of the space.
Jr. says what they're doing is against the law.
It violates the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause. It violates 42 U.S.C. Section 1982 of the Civil Rights Act, because those laws say that anybody enjoy the same rights to own, sell, possess land as enjoyed by white citizens.
Orwell and the Return to the Land official website both say the community is a private club and therefore exempt from Title II of the Civil Rights Act on public accommodations. That would have to be tested in court.
In order for there to be a case, a lawsuit, there has to be some kind of what's called a case of controversy. Someone tried to obtain ownership, or someone tried to live in that particular area. They were denied, and at that point, then a lawsuit could be brought.
Is there something?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So if somebody tries to live over there, and they just outright deny that person, yeah, that's a case for a lawsuit, you know, racism, all that stuff, civil rights case, all that good stuff. Like, yeah, you got that. But I don't think any black person is going to try to live over there with them if they just want to be over there by themselves. You know, we have a lot of land in the middle of America for sale, and unused land and stuff like that, or land that might be not that good and could be built up. We got a lot of that in America. So I don't know. I think it's a non-issue. If they want to have their own community, let them have their own community. If they're not bothering anybody, as long as they're not going out and doing hangings and stuff like that in the middle of the night, who cares?
That you have against people of other ethnicities?
No, we are for European heritage. That's our history. That's where we come from. We want to perpetuate that. I think that's very natural. I think all life basically wants to perpetuate what it is. So we're trying to do that.
Is it because you're honoring your ancestry, or is it because you think your ancestry is better than another?
Well, it's mine, and obviously I have a preference for it, but I wouldn't say that it's superior to others in all respects. I think in general,
Man, we have so many like real racism and civil rights issues in America that when it's stuff like this, we gotta look past it, man. Like I said, the apartment complexes, you know, they'll be fully Venezuelan or Mexican or whatever type of Latino community living there. You got Indian reserves where only people of that heritage can live. You got all these different type of different communities in America that if white people want to do it, like I said, as long as they're not taking up you know, prime real estate in places people actually want to be and not letting people in, let them have their white only community. They're gonna, all of course, people outside of it is gonna call them racist just because it's the history of our country is when they want to be separate from us. That's what it seems like. But sometimes, to be honest, there are black people that don't want to be around white people either. So it just is what it is.
all societies get along better when people are more similar. The more dissimilar people are in a society, the harder it is to understand each other. And if you can't understand each other, you can't exactly predict what everyone's going to do. And if you can't predict what they're going to do, it's harder to trust them. And so multiracial, multicultural societies end up.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with what he was saying right there. The video got cut off, but he was saying that, you know, I do think people who are similar definitely get along better, but I do think having that diversity is also good. It's just too much of that diversity. We've seen how if you just let anybody into any space, that's not a good thing. But if another person is an American, that's what I think we should look at first. Like, are you American? Okay, you know, let's see if we can find some common ground. This is a country we built with all different types of cultures and ethnicities put into it. So it's going to be some differences. But if you're in the middle of nowhere and you want to have your own little white community, who cares, bro? Like, if you're black and you're really worried about this, you need to be finding something better to do with your time. Like, these are not the white people we need to worry about. We don't need to worry about the ones that want to be left alone in the barn, square dancing, doing their thing, ain't got no rhythm, no seasonings getting shipped into their community. We do not have to worry about this type of white person right here. But I don't know, maybe I'm not taking this serious enough. Maybe this is like, oh, you know, like, we let them do it here, they're going to start doing it other places. But I've also seen Muslims trying to have their own communities. You know, Asians, they'll have their own places. There's a Chinatown in every major city. So, you know, it is what it is, man. If they want to do that, let them do that. That's just my opinion, though.
I just wanna be great just to be great.